Greetings, fam. Get ready. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip grown folk conversation. Oh, get ready to get down on it. We got to have a special guest tonight out of the ATL, none other than Natasha Clark. She's been with us before. She's a very powerful gift. I think you all are going to enjoy her. We're going to be dealing with what does it look like to be chosen by God, the expectations and the repercussions about being chosen. Listen, if you're in the room, please tap on something, send somebody something. Y'all know what we do. We hit that share button because what? Sharing is caring. All right, fam, everybody get ready. What I'm doing is hitting that share button. I'm asking you all to hit it. I'm hitting that share button myself. So give me just a moment. And we're going to get ready to get into this. All right. So let me drop in some of these groups here that I demonstrate with. And we'll go from there. How about that, fam? Yes, indeed. We'll go from there. How was you all day today? My day was magnificent. I had an amazing day. Of course, a day of meditation. I was meditating and messing around in my garden. For those of you that don't know, I do a raised bed garden each year to stay in tune and connected with the universe. Really, truly based upon the fact that what's getting ready to happen with all of this produce in the supermarket, they're going to be charging us an arm and a leg. So I would advise you all to start growing your own food. Yes, indeed. Grow your own food, baby. We got the ATL in the house, baby. That's none other than the priestess herself. Hit that share button, you all, and we're going to go ahead and get at it. Let me drop just a little bit more, and I'm going to join you guys here in just a moment. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Yes, sure. All right. Somebody tell somebody, and tell somebody to tell a friend to tell a friend. So that what? We can all get in and win. Oh, you rhyming, y'all. Yes, indeed. But we dropping in the share room. Yes, indeed. 217 in the house, baby. None other than my homie, my friend from way back then, Ronald Jackson. He has an amazing book out as well. He was supposed to be sending me a copy of that. Yeah, I'm setting you out like that. He was supposed to be sending me out a copy so that I can introduce it to you all and so that I can get a good read myself because I knew it's going to be off the chain because he's a very knowledgeable brother. Yes, indeed. And one thing about, listen, those that hang out with the one, listen, they have their ducks in a row. They're very intellectual. They're very articulate, and they know what it is that they want to do and what they're trying to accomplish. And they know how to establish relationships. One thing about being in this time frame is that we're doing what? We're establishing relationships. Isn't that something? And I think we all should be on top of that right about now, right? So, but we have a special guest again tonight, Natasha Clark. I'll be bringing her up here in a little bit. Some of you all already know her. You've been introduced to her. Yeah. So some of you all, you're going to meet her tonight, but some of you all, she's already been introduced to you. All right, fam. So, all right. So let's go ahead and hit that share button because what? Sharing is what? Caring. Right? If you care, share. If you don't, sit on your thumbs, sit on your fingers, and that's okay. We ain't gonna be mad at you, right? No, that ain't what we do around here. We keep it moving. That's what's up. You're supposed to do what? Keep it moving and grooving. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm almost finished sharing here. I have an amazing wine for you guys. It's going to be off the chain, off the porch, out the gate, out the yard, down the street, over on the next block. Isn't that something? Yes, indeed. All right, I see y'all coming in. Yes, indeed. All right, I appreciate you, 217 RJ. Yes, sir, Ronald Jackson. RJ, I appreciate you, man, that you putting it in the mail. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we can collaborate. Hmm. Yes, indeed. So we can collaborate. All right. Okay. I think I reached the end of my sharing abilities. All right. So listen, let me get ready to bring our guest up. The master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby. Yes, indeed. All right. All right. All right. All right, fam. Coming to the stage, none other than the one herself, Natasha Clark. You got your mic on? You ready? All 217 in the house, baby. One for counter two is in the house.
Yes, I am. Here I am.
Yes,
Hi, good
indeed. Yes, indeed.
evening, good
Give me just a
afternoon.
moment, Queen. Give me just a moment. Let me shout out our sponsors for tonight for Wind Down Wednesday. The sponsor tonight is going to be the Prince of Peace, Queen Octavia, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shape Shifter, the Code Breaker, baby, Queen Alphine, Tracy and Anthony Love, LaVale, Juan Fakanatu, Shalita, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shape Shifter, baby. Listen here, he be on top of everything. And shout out to Queen Octavia tonight, who's sponsoring the wine. And last Wine Down Wednesday, shout out to the Master Teacher sponsoring the wine. You all can, in Wine Down Wednesday, sponsor if you would choose so. And shout out to 217 again, Juan Fakanatu, for keeping his word. He said he was going to do something and he did it. He said, hey, man, I got you. I'm going to donate. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Shout out to you. Shout out to 217 that's been representing. Shout out to the ATL that's been representing. Shout out to Arkansas that's been representing. Shout out to New York. Shout out to North Kakalaki, South Kakalaki. Shout out to you all for shouting for supporting Wind Down Wednesday. We're going to get into this, y'all. It's going to be on like a young telephone. We, ooh, we. So, look, we're going to do this here. Let me give you all a hand for the support system that we have. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something that's very prolific and very powerful. I think we need to talk about in this particular hour. What does it look like to be chosen by God? The expectation and the repercussions. I think that's going to be very powerful tonight as we get into this. So now, as we getting ready to get into this, here's what I want to do. I want to let the queen go ahead and introduce herself and let you all know who she is and how you all can reach out to her. Go ahead, queen.
Hi, my name is Natasha Clark, also known as Notary Natasha, found on all social media platforms. I am a notary public real estate agent, tax professional, amongst being a supermodel and many other skills and talents. I am a two-time published author of the book Oromology and the Shadow Work Journal. I teach neurolinguistic programming and communication mindset.
Amazing. That's awesome. Gratitude, gratitude. May you continue to have great success in your endeavors. That's what's up.
Thank you.
So look, so here's what we're gonna do before we get ready to get into this. Again, normally, here's what the family does. They will repost the topic again, tonight's topic, for those that are gonna be coming in later and those that may be here and still didn't hear it. We're gonna be dealing with what does it look like to be chosen by God, the expectations and the repercussions of that. So we're gonna get into that. So let's go ahead and introduce this wine to you all. Whatever you may be sipping on, whether it be water, tea, coffee, milk, whatever it may be, put it on the timeline. Let us know what you're sipping on, and it's okay, right? You sipping on water. You know the first miracle was what water
Water
was
in the
turned to
wine.
what? It was turned to wine. So fool
Exactly.
around and be playing over there with that water
Okay.
and
A
get
little alchemy,
inebriated.
a little
Yeah, we can do
transmutation.
some alchemy now. Come on here. We'll make it do what it do. Yes,
Yes.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
My
Hey,
daughter
hey.
my
Royal
daughter
is in the house.
is
Go ahead, Queen.
my daughter is turning 16 years old next month,
Shout out.
and
Yeah.
then she'll be graduating high school with her associate's degree in architecture.
All right. Shout out.
So on that, I'm gonna drink water and I'm gonna work and run this bag up so that we can celebrate Queen the right way.
Okay. Okay. Shout out. Shout out. But for those of you who don't know that she's been featured on Wind Down Wednesday and the family enjoyed her. So they was like, who was that? Where'd she come from? Get her back up in here. Get some work up out of her. So I
The
think you
work never
guys,
ends.
yeah, yeah. I see you, Juan. What you say? Just left the gym rehydrating, huh? I feel you. Uh,
Ashe. Till
yes,
2
indeed.
a.m.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the fruit of the vine, baby. Everybody alkaline. RJ say he alkaline tonight. I feel y'all. Listen, I'm gonna use some alchemy on y'all tonight. I'm gonna turn all of y'all water into wine. Watch
Some peach soda. I'm here
this.
for the peaches.
Yeah, you understand me. So listen, let me introduce you all to this wine, and we're gonna. This is a real good company. I deal with them. I used to really deal with them back in the day, and they make a really, really good wine. But also they sell other liquor. They're called Behringer. Let me see if I can. You guys can see that. Can you all see that?
Hmm. I can't see the label, but I
Let
can
me see
see
if
the
I can
color
get
of
a
the
little
bottle.
closer. There it is.
Behringer, there it is. That's good. Very
Yes,
visible.
it's a rosé, and it's really good. Behringer, they make a really, really, really good wine. Uh, you can find they have high end, low end, but all of it is a good grade. It's a good grade. So if you never tasted them before, yeah. She in the house tonight, baby. The inspirational queen is in the house.
Want me, Kizzy?
Respect. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, so look,
Yes.
pour this up. Let's get our toast going. Let me pour this bale up because you know that's all they give us is a bale when we go to the restaurant, right? And then they charge us 14.99. Yeah, I pay 14.99 for a bale. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, for a bale. Look, for those of you, again, paraphernalia is in. Wind down Wednesday, baby. Y'all better get on it. And then also, this is Wind Down Wednesday glass. Look at that. Ooh, Wind Down Wednesday, baby. All right. All right, Natasha, get a toast.
It's water for me with the 12-hour shifts.
Salute,
Cheers
salute, salute.
to glowing skin.
For sure. All right. All right. Prince of Peace said he drinking root beer. He drinking root beer. That's what's up. They got if you get the right kind, it'll get you inebriated too. They got some root beer that'll get you inebriated. Inebriated, baby. All right. So with that in tow, our very special guest is going to demonstrate tonight along with us because y'all know how we do it. We use what? The talkback system. We get it going. We get that timeline going. Get that timeline moving. Correct? All right, Queen. So drop it on us. Let's go with it. What does it look like?
What does it look like? I want to dive into a scripture to give us some foundational context into what does it look like to be chosen by God. The scripture that I chose was Proverbs 11.
Okay.
Like that toast glowing skin. Salute. Yes. So I would like to go ahead and read Proverbs 11 for you from the New International Version. The Lord detests the dishonest scales, but the accurate weight finds favor with him. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, and with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless with the day in the day of wrath, but delivers righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes their path straight, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. Hopes placed in morals die with them. All the promises of their power come to nothing. The righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. With their mouth, the godless destroy their neighbors. But through knowledge, the righteous escapes. When the righteous prospers, the city rejoices. When the wicked perishes, there are shouts of joy. Mm. Through the blessings of the upright, a city is exalted, but the mouth of the wicked, it is destroyed. Whosoever derides. Whosoever derides their neighbor has no sense. Please go to the bathroom. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. A gossip betrays a confidence, but the trustworthy person keeps a secret. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many adversities. Who's ever put up security for a stranger will surely suffer, but whoever refuses to shake the hand in pledge is safe. The kind-hearted woman gains honor, but the ruthless man gains only wealth. Those who are kind-hearted benefits themselves. I'm sorry, those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin to themselves. The wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteous reaps a assured reward. Truly, the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. The Lord detests those hearts are perverse, but he delights in those ways are blameless. Be sure of this. The wicked will not go out and the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desires of the righteous and only in good, and hope of the wicked only in wrath. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds undutifully, but comes to poverty. A genius person will prosper. Whoever refreshes another will be refreshed. People curse the one who hoards grains, but they pray God's blessing on the ones who is willing to sell. Whoever seeks good finds favor, but evil comes to the one who searches for it. Those who trust in riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servants to the wise. A fruit of a righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. If the righteous receives their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Excuse me. Now that was a mouthful right there.
For
Touche.
certain. For certain. That, yeah, that was a mouth.
Touche.
All
I
right.
love it though. It summed it up for me. I was like, yep. We
Right.
could break that down piece by piece and let people understand what the our perspective of the context of what does that mean to be chosen by God and be walking in alignment or in flow with the universe. If
Okay.
you don't believe in the Most High, yeah, whether you're saying universe or God, is still the same laws and principles that govern us all.
Okay. Well, I think
Mm-hmm.
that, of course, everyone on this timeline are astute and they know how to, of course, address a certain issue that is presented to them. So they're not
Mm-hmm.
confused by that. But it is quite lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
So because it is lengthy, it's going to take multiple levels of conversation to be able to deal with that as it relates to what does it look like to be chosen by God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because you can bring immediately into that, let's talk about being right and being wrong, being righteous and being a sinner. What does that look like? What does that mean? Right? Here's Queen Octavia made it in. Greetings, Queen. Um, the Prince of Peace says, you want to read it?
It says chosen ones are challenged with a heavy lifting and the forerunning to open the exemplifying right morals and fight negative opposition.
Yeah.
Yes,
What
that
do
is
you
so
think
true.
about that? That's a great response.
We are all tasked with that mantle of overcoming opposition and rising above those adversities and exposing our oppressors. So,
Okay.
yes, that's a heavy mantle to carry.
Okay. Okay. So for me, when we get into what it looked like to be chosen by God, it gets into so many tributaries. You can have so many conversations about that. What does it look like? Because when we talk about chosen,
Mhm.
uh, of course, also if we're going to use biblical principles, and please note that I am, and of course, my guest has the ability to do whatever she chooses to do, but I am not trying to proselytize anyone.
Pasteurized?
Yeah. So with with our conversation, because some people will take it as that, you know what, you're trying to proselytize me. You
What's
know,
the? I'm sorry. Get
that
you.
means that I'm trying to turn you into being religious.
Oh.
So and it has other meanings too.
Okay.
But it means that you're trying to turn me into something,
Yeah.
other than what I may choose to be. So, but the reason why I'm saying that is because when you talk about what does it look like to be chosen by God, be chosen, the particular the biblical um, principle here is that that have I not told ye that ye are gods, right?
Mhm.
Which is where we get some of that terminology
Mhm.
from the scriptures, from the sacred text that talks about that, that talks about you being a god. So when you're chosen to be a god, then there is a level of expectation that is placed upon you, right? The Prince of Peace says chosen ones have the duty of fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. And I agree with that. Here's what the Prince of Peace put up, Queen. Chosen ones have the duty of fighting for those who can't fight for themselves.
No, listen, yes, we are, but we don't want to get into the mindset of being Captain Save Hope for everybody. Okay. We want to teach people how to fight for themselves. That's what we're here to do, is to be generals in God's army and to be the example and set the way and walk in that path. But everyone has their own journey. And some of us think that us fighting someone else's battle is going to help them, but sometimes it becomes enabling and they just become entitled to your energy and expect you to just fight all their battles for them. And that's not how life is worked. That's not how life is designed to be. You have to teach others how to fight for themselves the same way you would raise up a child in which they are supposed to go. So yes, I agree with you. If they're a disabled person or a child and they don't know how to fight for themselves, but if you have taught them and they just refuse to do it and they have all of the abilities to do it, then you're enabling.
Okay. All right. And of course, when I look at that, also is saying something else as well. Chosen ones have the duty of fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. Is that there are those that can't fend for themselves. Not that they're inapt in ways that they may be um, physically inapt, right? But it may be in a way that they haven't been mentally taught how to defend for themselves. So you have to get in a position where you can fight for them until they can fight for themselves. So also there's another side to that, which is why it's very good that we have this conversation tonight so that we can get all the information out, get both of the sides or many multiple sides out so that we can get the information. So I think it's very important to note that. But go ahead, Queen.
That yes, both perspectives are very key and fundamental. So you are right in a sense, uh, but definitely have to have discernment when understanding that some of us mentally have not grown since middle school because we experienced some bullying, or high school because we experienced some sexual trauma and that really stunted our growth. And so we turned into the hurt person that hurt us. And we have to, at a certain point, take accountability for the pain and the trauma and say, yes, this happened to me, but what I did with the pieces and how I chose to move on and grow from that and learn from that incident or that situation, and how I chose to empower others who were going through that situation to get out of that place. But then you shift from being a victim to being a victor to being a teacher, from being the student. So, and you get into a position of power to where you're exemplifying your strength and showing other people how you've overcome those adversities. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Here's what inspirational Queen Kizzy says. I was watching House of David and I started having one of those real conversations with God,
Mm.
and where you don't hold back. I asked, why do the chosen ones, the gifted ones, have to go through so much? And the answer came to me heavy, like truth you feel in your chest. The strongest sword on the battlefield isn't found, it's forged. It's put through the hottest fire over and over until it becomes unbreakable iron. And I heard I had to make you into iron. I had to forge you. And
Oh, yeah, you can have this.
it cuts some of your information off, Queen Kizzy. I don't know if that's the completion of it. You alchemize your trauma into medicine, and I don't think that was part of what you were saying. Yeah,
Ashe,
but
that's accurate.
yeah, we do. We do alchemize our trauma into medicine.
And God said, when, well, the scripture really says that God said, when you were in your mother's womb, I formed you. And if you look at neuroscience and the conception of life, you can see that our cells are like constellations in the stars. And God is like molding. You could see his hands molding our face and shaping our eyes inside of our in the womb. And it's a literal forging inside of the womb, but also inside of the consciousness of our mind, because these are just containers, vessels for us to manifest and create in this physical 3D paradigm. But
Yes,
once we leave this 3D paradigm, we're in the ethers and we're pure spirit, light,
yeah,
celestial bodies.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. When you say He formed us in our mother's womb, when you look at that word womb, you have to understand what that word actually really means. When He formed us in the womb, which is why the feminine or the female carries the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the element that creates our DNA strand, speaks to it, and put the code into the DNA strand. But womb in the Hebrew, Beten, means mind. The first place anything is ever formed before it comes to any type of actuality is in the mind, in the womb of the mind. The mind is the cause of it all because you impregnate the mind, womb, mind, thoughts, concepts, ideals. All of that is formed where? In the mind. A child starts out as an ideal because a mother says to herself that, you know what, I want to become pregnant. Where did that start? It started out as a thought, and that thought created the energy for it to come into existence. So our mind is very powerful, and that's the tool that we've really stopped developing.
It's
We
so funny because
Yeah,
sometimes we be thinking, I hope I don't get pregnant. And just the sheer fact
yeah,
of us thinking that we hope we don't get pregnant, we end up getting pregnant. It's like, ugh.
yeah, yeah.
We be thinking about it so much. Like,
Yes, okay.
please,
Yeah,
please
so
don't.
yeah, so definitely it's gonna come from the womb. So when we're talking about wombs, this is why we get into males and females get into kerfuffles because it is the inability to understand the interpretation of what it is that's being conveyed. When you talk about womb, what womb are you talking about? Are you talking about the higher womb or are you talking about the lower womb? Right? Because the higher womb is still the developer of the lower womb or whatever's going on in the lower womb, right? So if you don't get the right articulation, then it creates argumentation. So you get into these arguments, it's like who came first, the chicken or the egg? Who came first, the woman or the man? Why? Because there has been an incomplete articulation of how this really work. And there are so many variations of those that are conversating. And most of the people that are conversating hasn't taken their scholarship far enough. Right. Yes, Queen Kizzy. Hasn't taken their conversation, I mean their education far enough to either even determine what the hell they even talking about. What are you talking about? Where do you get that from? It
Energy,
doesn't
frequency, vibration. That's what
Yeah,
they
it
talking
doesn't make
about, but
sense.
they just trying to be in this 3D cardinal mundane paradigm. And it's like, no, you gotta think in 9D. Energy, frequency, and vibration. There is a masculine and feminine principle, but if you put a seed in water under a microscope and take a picture of that seed, you'll see the actual fully grown fruit or plants.
Absolutely, but you have to have the right technology.
So it's about
Yeah,
visualization. The past, present, and future are all happening all at once. So the seed is already a fruit. It's just what space or paradigm are you operating in? What
absolutely.
frequency
So,
are you?
yeah, but okay, now just hear what you just said. Now you really got to hear what you just said because see, you're gonna get a big fight out of the feminists that that believe that hey, female came first and then male came later. You're gonna get a big argument out of that
What?
because
There is
oh,
no argument with that. Name one
they're
man that
gonna
does not
argue
have
with
a
that.
belly button, and then the man came first.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's what we do know for sure. Here's what we do know for sure,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get to what Master Teacher put out. Here's what we do know for sure that nothing is neither created nor destroyed. That's fact. Nothing is neither what? Created, nor what? Destroyed.
Destroy.
Energy has always been, right?
Hmm.
Energy will always exist. But if you look up energy in one of the oldest languages, which is Sanskrit, what you're going to find out is energy means both male and female. You
Gee,
can't have one without the other.
gee.
Nothing can exist. But however, there is this argument out there that the female was here and there was no men. What do you do with that argument?
Me tell them to stop the nice because no man no want be on the island with man them. No man. But women, if you tell us to go on an island by ourselves, we be like, no problems. Because if you ask these men, would they rather their daughters be with a bear or a man? The man would be like, a bear. Because the men them worse than the bears. Like that, and that's why I
You
want
think the
to.
men are worse than the bears?
That's what y'all be saying. That's not my words. I'm talking about the studies that are out here on the social experiments. Like, yes, I do think that men are very dangerous creatures, especially the IDF soldiers and the ICE people. I do think that they're very dangerous.
So you
Not gonna lie.
so now you have to clarify what men are you talking about? Are you talking about our European counterparts? Are you talking about black and brown men?
I'm
What are you
specifically
referring to?
talking about the men that lack morals and integrity. It don't have to have a color. It's a character flaw. It's a
Well,
character trait.
men can say the same thing about women.
Absolutely. If there are women that are working for the IDF or ICE, I think
So
y'all kind of,
so I don't think
oh
that
no.
one could talk about the other because I think that they're equally involved in whatever it is that they have going on,
Yeah, I'm not talking about a man,
right?
but I do note that.
Let me go back to let's read what
Mhm,
the master teacher said because I think we're getting a
mhm.
little off script here. Um, in Sifar Mishilai 24, which is what you came from Psalms, I think. Was that Psalms you was reading from? Which is Sifar
Proverbs,
Tehillim. You was reading from Proverbs, right?
Proverbs 11.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's the actual name for Proverbs, Sifar Mishilai. That is the actual name. 24, 5 through 6 says, a wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Chosen ones, although equipped with all of the tools needed to survive, still need wise counsel and safety. And I totally agree with that. You got to take wise counsel, right? Let me go back up there and hit this again because Kizzy said something that was important. Then let's go down a little bit more. Kizzy says yes, but sometimes we have to meet someone in 3D. They and to plant the 5D seed and go into their 5 dot plant their 9D and so on, et cetera, et cetera. I agree, Kizzy. And then Benny, shout out to you, man. I follow your stuff all the time, bro. I'm on you. I'm on you all the time. Gratitude for you stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. Let me take just a brief moment, family, to pause for the cause for those that pay the bill. For those that pay the bill, let me pause for the cause. The Prince of Peace, Queen Octavia, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shapeshifter, the Code Breaker. These are the sponsors. Queen Alphine, Tracy and Anthony Love, Queen Lavelle, Juan Facanitude, Queen Shalita, Also, none other than T Swin, Men Can Always Be Wrong podcast. And if you haven't had an opportunity to pick it up yet, listen, he has an excellent readout. Love is for suckers. All right. Get a chance. If you get a chance, pick that up. All right, family. All right. Okay. All right, Queen. So look at this. Gratitude, gratitude. All right. So when you look at let's go back up here and look at what Kizzy says. Kizzy says, yeah, but sometimes we have to meet someone, and she's responding to you, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
We have to meet them in the 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me let y'all in on something. While we talking about this, and I'm demonstrating this in my book because oftentimes, lots of times, many times, a great number of times, we are talking from other people's perspectives, and we haven't experienced something to be able to articulate it on a level where it becomes visible, right? See, we are supposed to see in 3D, but we can't. We can't see in 3D. Are you listening to me? We can't see in 3D. We actually see only in one because we can't see posteriorly. We can't see in front of us nor in back of us at the same time. The anterior and the posterior, we can't see it at the same time. So we don't see in 3D. We actually see in 1D, 2D, but not in 3D. But however, those of us that have been activated and been trained, we have two levels of visual perspection. And you don't have to take my word for it because when you have tapped into a certain level of information and knowledge, you'll know what I'm getting ready to tell you is a fact. We have what y'all know what Superman have. Superman have what we refer to as X-ray vision, and okay. We got a few more minutes left. We get out of here. But Superman seeing what we refer to as X-ray vision. And if anybody has ever had an X-ray, when they take an X-ray of a bone or part of your body, they have to put it up on a special type of light to be able to see it right. And and they can only see into your body. They can't see through it. They can only see in it. They can only see the bone in your body, right? That's X-ray vision. Then we have another vision. Those of us, and those of us, we have what we call penetrating vision, and I'm talking about this in my book that I'm going to release. Penetrating vision is a whole nother level. Now, of course, we know that they have remote viewing. We ain't talking about that. But penetrating vision means that we have the ability to see directly through an object, not only see through the object, but make it refract, make the light refract, and cause surround vision. In other words, we can see the entire spectrum of what is going on. For example, have you ever noticed? Uh, I'll just say dream, but actually it's the vision ram. But I'm gonna say dream. Have you ever noticed that when you're dreaming and you're having interaction with something, you experience everything there? You can see it, you can feel it, you can sense it. Right.
Yes, lucid dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, it's not even dreaming. I just named it that. It's actually you're in what we call the vision realm. And the vision realm and the dream realm are two different realms. And the
Right.
reason why I'm sharing this with you is that, again, it goes back to our articulation, right? When we are articulating and we're saying things, how do we explain that in a way that you can grasp what I'm saying to you? Now, watch this. I'm going to break this down in a way that you're going to be able to better understand why I said what I said. When you are dreaming, dreams, you can't interact with them. Dreams, you can only watch it because it's like a motion picture. You're having a secondhand experience. It's like sitting at a theater and watching the movie. That's a dream. Not only is it a dream, but listen to me. I'm giving y'all I'm dropping free game on you. But when you're dreaming, dreams are instructional. In other words, you are having this because it's giving you instructions because you can follow it frame by frame. That's how you make a movie. A movie is developed by frames, right? Frame by frame. And then they do what? They speed it up and create what? Motion. They create motion, but it's by frames. So when we are dreaming, dreams only is for the purpose of instructions, not for the purpose of interaction. Now, let me juxtapose that to vision. When you are having a vision is the realm where we interact with things. In other words, we have the ability to sense and feel and experience and interact with it, right? This is the vision realm. So the vision realm is the greatest realm of awareness that we can get to. It's called Torimo. Torimo is the realm of the deepest awareness where we become so aware that we sense and feel everything. We can feel everything. We can feel the wood. We can feel the wind. We can feel the rain. We can feel everything that we are experiencing in the vision realm. So what did they do? They created new software where now you're not having a secondhand experience, you're having a firsthand experience. Now you're able to go into the game and become a part of the game. So this is why the kids are so attached because now they're in the game. They are playing over in the game. They're experiencing what is happening in the game, being shot at, and everything. Where did they get that from? They got it from the vision realm. And this is very important to understand that those are two different realms. Dream realm ain't the vision realm. Those are two different realms. Those realms are not the same. So if we
What,
put them together, that's why people are so confused and you have so much uh, chaos out here.
what
With
would you say the remote viewing realm is? If you don't
the the remote viewing, I would say, is just probably a notch on top of the X-ray realm. That's
the
what I
vision realm, or is that the X-ray?
no, the X-ray realm.
Okay.
I would say the X-ray realm because when you're remote viewing,
Mhm.
remote viewing simply means that you have the ability to see into a particular area that you are not in. You could see something happening in another country, or you could see something happening in another realm. That's remote viewing. In other words, it's like you need an aid to help you view what it is that you're trying to view. For example, like a television. If you're trying to view that television and change the channels, you need a what? A remote to be able to view. So when you're dealing with remote viewing, yeah. So this is why there's such opposition against us to tap into our supernatural and superhuman abilities and powers because they don't want that, because our super exceed that. But if you've never experienced that and all you've heard is somebody talk about it, then that's all you can do is talk about it. But there are those of us that have experienced certain things at a certain level, and we have the ability to articulate it. When my book come out, you have better understand what I'm saying to you. That there are those of us that we know what we know, because we've experienced it. Not what somebody told us, but what we experienced. And most of what the information that you're getting out here off of YouTube, off of TikTok, off of Facebook, IG, all of that, people talking about shit they done got from somebody else. They haven't experienced it. You will know someone that has experienced something because their articulation is going to be different. They're going to have a different vernacular. They're going to have a different delivery in terms of how they're delivering what they're delivering, and it's going to be balanced. It's not going to be that spooky shit that people have out here talking about. It's going to be balanced. So that's why most of us that do know, we don't get in the fray. We don't get mixed up in that shit. I'm not going to get to arguing with you about anything because I already know you don't know. Why in the hell am I going to argue with you for? Because I know you don't know. When you start using a certain language and start saying certain things, I already know you don't know. Right? And not that
Right.
I know everything, but I'm connected with others that we confer to check and make sure that, hey, what you working with, is that right? What you working with, is that right? Let's hold on. We got to get a consensus on this here.
We all got to be on one accord,
Yeah.
getting in our minds.
Yes, we're gonna be on the same page. I got some, listen, right here. That brother right there just put that out there, taught him on the Hebrew refers to as a deep sleep or a greater state of awareness, which is what I was talking about. This brother is bad. He know his stuff. He and I, we stay studying. That's what we do. That's what we do. So when you say something, we can analyze it. We
Yeah.
can analyze that shit. Hold on, man. Player, don't do that. Don't say that, man.
Turn
That's
up on us. Come on,
that's
coach.
not, you shouldn't say that because you can't substantiate that. You can't prove that. There's nothing factual that agrees with you.
What are you
So you
talking
can't
about?
say that,
Turn up?
right? No, no, listen to me. Facts are very important
Uh-huh.
because facts keeps you grounded and keep you foundationalized. See, when you move away from facts, that is when you can use strong delusions and illusions to deceive and trick people, which is what
Mm-hmm.
for educational purposes only, which is what our European counterparts have done. What have they done? They have used magic. See, now I got a problem. Listen to me and you'll hear me well.
I don't know
have
if
a
they use
problem.
magic or manipulation.
No, hold on.
The difference.
Let me explain to you.
The difference.
And then you can work with it. Let me explain it to
Coercion.
you, and then you can work with it.
We're like that.
See, magic is a temporary spell. It's temporary. Let me give you an example of what I mean. You ever been to a circus or a show where there was a magician? You ever been there? You ever did that before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have. I know I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
They use what we refer to as prejudicitation. Prejudicitation is a big long word for nothing more than sleight of hands. So here's what the magician does. The magician says that I'm going to watch me pull this rabbit out of this hat. Well, I'd be damned if he don't pull the rabbit out that hat. We know that a rabbit can't come out of a hat. We know the rabbit wasn't in the hat. We know that the only way that the rabbit got in the hat, that they had to use trickery and deceit. So he pulls the rabbit out of the hat, and when the rabbit comes out, now you are spellbound. You're like, oh, he pulled the rabbit out of the hat. But later on, you find out how they did the trick. But you thought that the rabbit came out the hat. That's magic. That's what our ancestors taught our European counterparts. Magic. They didn't give them the real essence of how our powers operate. They gave
We
them
are magic. We are magic.
Yeah, no, I don't use it. I'm telling you, magic is a temporary spell. Magic is not a element that carries a substantial an amount of energy that could be sustained throughout the entirety of what you're presenting.
That's the definition of magic.
No, that is not the definition of magic. I just told you what magic is. Magic is a temporary spell. So those again, oftentimes we don't take our scholarship far enough to know magic is a temporary spell. And then we get angry when someone reveals to us that, damn, I've been using magic all the time. I'm not going to stop using magic. I know magic is real because it's been working for me. That's why your shit temporary.
I think we are magic. And I think that as Black girls and immigrants living in America and surviving all the things that we had to overcome, it's just sheer magical. And
Okay, well,
this
you
proves
can
the existence of
hold
a
on.
higher
Let me
power.
stop you. Let me stop.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe anything you want to. You can believe
Yeah.
you're a dog if you want to. I don't care. But what I'm simply saying to you is that magic is a temporary spell and you're refusing to listen to it. Why?
I'm
Because
not
it is
saying
attacking. No,
that.
no.
I,
Wait a
I
minute.
say
Wait a
we
minute.
could
Wait a minute.
disagree. We could agree
Wait
to
a minute. Just let
disagree.
me
You could
talk.
say that it's a temporary
Let
spell,
me,
and I say that it's me.
yeah.
Magic is me, and I'm
Well,
not a temporary spell for anybody.
well, what I'm
So
telling you is then
I'm
you
the
just,
definition of magic.
well, if you are, then you're temporary. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
And
you
that's
need to
your
find another
opinion.
definition
That
for
is not
yourself.
the fact. And
I
when I
don't
asked
have a
you, was that the correct definition? You
I
said
don't
that the correct definition was a temporary spell, which that is not the correct definition or the etymology or the root meaning of the word magic. And that's what I'm saying. If you try to land the plane and say
Okay, well,
factual
let's
information
go with
and call out the facts,
let's go
then
with the
please not give
etymology of
your
it.
opinions on
Let's
what
go to the
magic is
etymology of it.
and pass it off as fact, because it
Let's
is
go to the
not fact.
etymology.
That is a temporary
Let's go to the
spell.
etymology of it then.
Go ahead.
No, you go through the etymology of it. I just told you what magic was. Now
All
you
right,
go
let me
through the
hear.
etymology of it. You give your the etymology of it. Now, again, like I shared with you, is that what our ancestors did was they gave our European counterparts, and what they did was they switched it off onto us to confuse us. Now that's what we use, temporary spells. That's what we use in temporary spells, which is why relationships are not working because we're talking about magic.
I don't know.
It's temporary. Trust me.
I think that communication is the foundation to having long, healthy relationships. I see relationships work out in my life. So I think that it's your opinion that relationships are not working, and this is the exact reason why. But it is not a fact of life that all of
There
your
is
relationships are not working because
well,
you're
there is a
exuding temporary
correlation.
spells.
There is a strong correlation.
I do
There is a
believe
strong
that
correlation.
if people can learn how to communicate with compassion and understanding and not overtalk each other and learn how to get their point across clearly and land the plane and not go off into tangents and not get emotional, but actually, well, energy in motion is a good thing, but learning how to just hold the breath and hold your peace.
When you again, magic is a temporary spell. We've taken on words from our European counterparts that has nothing to do with us, period. But what our ancestors did, again, what they did was they gave them the ability to temporarily work something that where they thought it was a real deal.
So I'm looking here on Google, and it says that the full definition of the meaning magic is to pure ported art of influencing events, people, or natural forces through supernatural, occult, or mysterious means. It encompasses both supernatural practices, sorcery, witchcraft, and staged illusions for entertainment. Broadly, it represents a wondrous, enchanting quality or the capabilities to make the impossible possible. There's nothing temporary about that.
Did you just not hear what they said in illusion?
Who?
You just read in the definition.
It said nothing about illusion. Let me read it again. Magic is the purported art of influencing events, people, or natural forces through supernatural, occult, or mysterious means. It encompasses both supernatural practices like sorcery or witchcraft and stage illusions for entertainment.
Stage what?
Stage illusions for
Stage what?
entertainment, but it also encompasses
Oh,
both
okay.
supernatural practices
All
like
right.
sorcery and or witchcraft and stage illusions for entertainment. So it could be either or, it could be both, it could be one, it could be the other. It doesn't have to be. Those are the trickster spirits that are pulling silly card tricks out their hands, but magic is so much more powerful than that. And if we're talking on a third grade preschool level, then yes, we could talk about stage illusions. But I thought that we were all high scholars and high priestesses and intellectuals up in here. So ain't nothing
Okay. Wait
preschool
a minute.
about me besides my associate's
Slow
degree in
down,
early
please.
childhood
Wait a minute.
education.
So you have to what you have to understand if you're going to read the definition, then you
Mhm.
have to understand that that word is amalgamated. It's convoluted. You have to understand then that if there's anything that's mixing itself with something else, then it is not organic, nor is it pure. So when you read that definition with the information that's in it, then it's letting you know that there is a strong delusion and illusion in this information. I don't have any problem. You can, like I told you, you can believe anything that you want to believe. It don't matter to me. But what I'm saying is that I wouldn't move toward that particular term because of the connotations. And I know what that is. So when you do that, what you're going to do is create a division. You can find other means of words that gives greater credence to what it is that you are demonstrating with.
I never, so the
So
topic at hand was what is it mean or look like to be chosen by God? I never used the word magic. I don't think that was in the scripture, Proverbs 11. So I don't know how we got to this topic. I didn't use the word magic, but I think you brought it up just to show that it meant temporary spell. And I disagree. But if you
And
want
that's
to
okay.
create this
Okay.
division and
No,
your
we don't
crew could
have
say
to
it's a
be.
temporary spell and I could say it's not, let's all just agree to disagree and move on from that subject because
Right. We don't
I'm
have a
not trying to
queen.
convince you of
We're
my point
having
of
a
view.
conversation. We
Yeah.
we're having a conversation.
Yeah, but it's redundant when you keep saying it over and over again. I
I
get it. It's a temporary spell. Moving on.
I think you let's see what Kizzy says. Kizzy says it's all the belief in the magic. Two, I can tell you can fly and light a candle and tell you you can fly now. If you believe it, knowing you ain't got wings and jump off a building now is the outcome. The practitioner's fault or the one that believes it was possible. Again, choice. Yeah. So again, you it's okay to have different opinions. I'm not angry with you because you have a different opinion than me. That's okay. But what I'm saying is that if you're going to do what you do, you, there are going to be people that push back that I'm not down with that. I ain't doing that. Right. And that's okay. There are going to be those that you go around that agrees with that. There are a circle of conscious people that I know that I deal with that. But guess what? They know that I don't deal with that. So you deal with that. But I'm dealing on a higher level of what I deal with, right? Because I know because I've dealt in magic. I know what magic is. That's why I can sit here and tell you what that is. I know how to use prestidigitation. I know what that is, right? And I know the spell that it has on people. And when you look at it, for example, we went to the scriptures tonight. You read from the scriptures, right? They call it the gospel, the Bible, the gospel, right? When you look at that word gospel, it's a compound word. The compound word, the prefix on that word is good, Good, and then the prefix, I mean the suffix on that word is spell, Spell. It means a good spell. When you read from that book, it is actually talking about putting a good spell on somebody. So when you look at all of this information that we compiled, we still lack the ability to go in there and get the information out that we can come together and consolidate it and solidify it and create a proper foundation from which we can extend ourselves from. That's one of the things that we haven't done
Mm-hmm.
with what we've gathered in. That's 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 one of the things that we've done. So no, you have to understand, Queen. I have the greatest respect for you. I don't listen. This is what I tell people all the time. No, you can believe anything that you want to. You can do whatever you want to do. But then still, that doesn't mean that that right there isn't what it is. And this is what when you go back in antiquity and you look at our great professors and what they were talking about. One of them, Dr. Franz Fanon. Dr. Franz Fanon talked about something that was very powerful. He talked about having cognitive dissonance. And what he surmised was in his writings was that listen, there's when our core beliefs and what we think are approached or are attacked in a way that we don't think it's right, we will try to, in some way, try to wish it away, try to explain it away, but we won't accept the fact that, you know what, I really heard something that probably should make me kind of think what it is that I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's what astute and intelligent people do. And then and there are astute and intelligent people that are on this timeline. that do know. I mean, there's a lot of them out here that's not really saying anything, but these are very respectful people. And on this timeline, this is what we do. We have conversation. We don't we don't have debate. We have conversation. And that's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I do believe that we can have discussions about intellectual topics, and I believe that we can learn to agree to disagree. And I do believe that though people may be older or may be knowledgeable about a particular subject, they're not knowledgeable about everything under the sun. And so a lot of people's knowledge is incomplete. We are all incomplete. We're all going through this refining process of mastering ourselves. And your definition of knowledge may be, I mean, magic may be limited to what you know. And I may know a different aspect of because listen, the word God, you may experience the word God in a completely different way than I experience the word God. And I don't take that away from you as a person in your experience. And I accept you in your totality in your experience. There is no need for me to try and convince you that my God is your God. And if your view on God is not the same way as mine, then you're wrong or you're experiencing cognitive dissonance. It's just we have a difference in perspective on what this word truly means. And as a person who studies neurolinguistic programming and etymology, I think that though I am very young, I have done the work to know that magic is a transmutational aspect where we transform and from lead to gold, from water to wine, from the lame man being bent over blind, issue of blood, to fully healed, can see, walk, talk, fully functioning beings. That is my definition of magic. You could say it's healing. You could say it's sorcery. It's witchcraft. We were all burnt at the stake because of it. But nevertheless, we're still here, magical beings standing in our truth. And I 10 toes down on the word magic. Oh, well, you could say it's cognitive dissonance. I say I'm just on that. I'm on
I
that.
don't
I'm on something
listen.
else.
What I
You in the
told you was
3D.
you can believe
I'm in the
anything that
9.
you
We
want
different.
to. Listen, Queen, we're not debating. I'm not debating. I just gave information.
Yeah.
I just simply cited from one of our elders that's documented factual information.
Where
See,
did you say
here's
you got
one
this
thing.
factual information from?
Here's one thing. Here's one thing about us here that what we do is that we're factually based. We don't
Where
go on
did
a
you say
rant.
you got that facts from with the word magic?
I didn't tell you where I got that
Yeah,
fact.
that's why I'm asking. Where'd you get it from?
I didn't tell you that.
Where are your
You
sources,
assumed.
man? Come with your
Hold
receipts.
on. Hold on.
Come with your
I gave you
receipts.
terms.
She
Hold on.
ready.
Hold on. Hold on. I gave you terms that validated what I was saying.
So tell me the sources. I
I
don't want to
give
hear
you
the
I'll
validations of
give
what.
you
No.
well, when
Because
you
that's
say
what people
hold
do.
on,
They
we're
be
not
like,
hold on.
ain't
Queen,
this true
queen,
that what I said is facts?
queen,
And then
queen,
everybody in the chat be like, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Okay,
queen.
so give me your
No,
sources.
that the family don't act like that. We don't do that up in here.
They be doing that. They be doing that. I
No.
saw them in the chat. Family, stand up. Let
No,
him
on the
know.
timeline, they're
Y'all
not
in the
doing
chat
that.
like, yeah, he right. He right. Whatever he say, go. I'm just messing with y'all.
Everything needs validation. I give you a term. See, this is when we know what somebody this is how we know when we know what we know. I gave you a term. Term brings about validation. I gave you a term called prestidigitation. I gave you a term. That's what professors do. Professors give you information to validate what they say.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'll be joking, so please don't take any offense to my joke. I definitely am on my healing journey. I never said anyone does know everything. I just said that people's information on a particular area of expertise may be lacking in wisdom. It's just incomplete. It's not fully complete. Nobody's complete in any area of subject matter because no one's God. No one's perfect. We're all imperfect human beings. So you may think you know everything about a particular subject, but you really just scratch the surface. And that's what I'm learning on my journey, that I should just go to the source. And when I went to Google and I looked it up, I saw what it said. And he's like telling me his sources. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for
Li-
the sources.
Listen, listen.
But I'm just playful with it. Y'all
All
don't
you have to
don't
do
be
is
in your feelings.
understand that we're astute enough to know that those people on the timeline, all of them carry different types of degrees.
Mhm.
They come from different type of backgrounds.
Yeah,
See, sometimes we don't see. See, sometimes we can't read between the lines because most of the time, those that do know, they're so laid back, you ain't gonna know what they know anyway, because they only gonna give it to you a little bit at a time anyway,
this is
and they'll
true.
give you a little game. They'll give you a little game to hook you, to get you to see that, hey, just slow down a little bit and pay attention. If you slow down a little bit, you're gonna catch on that no one is trying to injure you, hurt you, disrespect you, or put you in a place where you are less than. We're here having a conversation because what I want to do is pull out of you the level of information that you are carrying so that we can all share in that. We may not agree. We don't have to agree. That ain't why we're here to agree. Because that's just not how everything works.
Yes, I love that, Kizzy. I love that comment that you just gave us, and I agree with you. The one, absolutely agree. You know,
That's
it's all about pulling that goodness of information out of people, not pulling the worst in people out, pulling the best in
uh,
people out.
that's what you want. That's all I was sharing with you. If you listen to my conversation with you, it is not it has been based factually based on information. No innuendos, no nothing. Right? That's how we do it because I enjoy you being here. The family enjoyed you the last time, so this won't be the last time that you here. So no, that ain't what we're trying to do.
You know, I think when we talk about the word magic, because I see a lot of commentary in the chat about the definition of the word magic, and you know, Kizzy made a really great comment that I just wanted to share. What is magic? Magic is energy, intention, and action. If your thoughts can change your actions and your actions can change your life, then energy creates results. That's magic. Whether you believe it or not, you're still using it every day. And I am in full agreement with that. It's your thoughts, your intentions, and your actions that
Okay,
creates
that's
energy and emotion.
and that's fine. That's what you believe.
Yeah. I feel like magic is chi. Like magic is prana. Magic is the air we breathe. Because for us to just fill our lungs with this CO2 or oxygen or all of this, you know, different things, and we're breathing and fully functioning every day, and our bodies work in this way, it's just pure magical to me for me to go through the things that I've experienced and come out on the other side. That's magical. All right, Benny, thank you for coming through. It's a great conversation.
Read what Master Teacher put out there.
The antecedent, the
Antecedent.
antecedent to the term magic centered around prodigination,
Prestidigitation.
prestidigitation. These
Mm-hmm.
new words, honey, and not a spectacular rendition of the word magic or the splendid version of who a person may be. No. He said two words I don't know.
Yeah, and that's okay. This is this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You One of the things is that sometimes
Uh-huh.
we have to know where we're at, what room we're in, and
Right.
who we're demonstrating with, and to know
Mm-hmm.
that they're going to have the most utmost respect for us. I never disrespect you, Queen. I have all the respect in the world for you. See, Kizzy, you gonna keep on, and then you gonna make me get at you. You could stop now,
Ah,
because
why?
you're
I
gonna make
like
me get at you.
Kizzy.
We
Kizzy.
got. Well, I don't have
Kizzy
enough
coming with
time.
the
Cause see,
sauce. I
no,
listen.
I
I'm
don't.
on Kizzy's team. Team
No,
Kizzy. Go Kizzy. Go
I don't
Kizzy.
have enough time. Cause Kizzy, I get with you later. I don't have enough
Ooh,
time to get with Kizzy
Kizzy, you
because
need to come on up here.
no, because see, magic is the same as faith. Faith is nowhere near what magic is, or
Ooh.
prayer isn't nowhere where that is. Cause see, now
Mm.
you're gonna make me start breaking these words down for you
Mm.
to
Come
give
on
you
now.
knowledge on another level.
Well, come on
No,
now.
no, no.
Master teacher, what you talking about?
No.
What you,
You don't even
what
want
you,
me to pull a master teacher up here.
what you talking about?
No, you don't want me to pull a master teacher up here.
Wait, come on now. Wait. I need a new page. Wait,
No,
hold on.
indeed. You don't even want me to pull a master teacher up here. But
All
listen,
right,
this
I
is
got to
where
get
I
out of my
pause for the
Discord.
cause.
I got
Listen,
to.
those
Come
of you
on.
that are still in the room, if you want to donate, please donate. Let me put the information out here for you uh, so that you can donate. If you donated, thank you for your donation, Queen Octavia. If you're donating, put it out there on the timeline so we'll know so I don't miss you. But there's the information for you.
Okay, so I'm about to look this up while he talking about.
All right, thank you, fam. All right, magic is the same as faith or prayer, praying a prayer and believing it will answer. No, because it ain't that simple. That's not correct, and I'm going to correct you on that. And you know, you my daughter, you my girl. No, that ain't what that is. That's something totally different. When you look at the word faith, and most of us come through the church. When you look at the word faith is a Greek word called pistis. Not only is it pistis, but it's another term called pistual. Those are two terms that you use in the Greek. And I would admonish you to look that word up in the Greek uh, uh, for faith, pistis and pistual. So those are two terms that you need to get the information on. He jumping on me. Look at Kizzy with a crazy stuff. Look what Kizzy say. Kizzy say, "Well, don't be jumping on me. I'm just trying to meet people where they are. So break it down."
Mm. You said the etymology of the word faith in
Yeah,
Greek.
it's Greek. Yeah. It is the word pistis, and the other version of it is called pistual. Those are two terms.
It
One,
means to persuade, convince, or satisfy, or to have faith in, or to believe, or to entrust.
that's the definition that you're reading from. What? Where did you get that from? AI offline?
It says the etymology Greek meaning of faith
Yeah. Well, you got to go.
on
You
Google.
you got to go into Strong's. You got to go into a Strong's Hebrew and Greek lexicon, which is going to give you a further definition of that. And then there are some other dictionaries, lexicons out there that's going to give you an even greater interpretation of that. Because what it actually means is to have the knowledge of. Not only does it means to have the knowledge of, but it means fidelity. It means to have the ability to think as the creator does. That's what faith, that's what pistis actually means. It actually means to have the ability to think and see, because I teach theology. So faith meaning having the ability to think as the creator, because it is what the creator thinking towards you. Now, when you get to what you think and what you believe, it is called pistual. Now, pistual meaning how you think and what you believe, doesn't have anything to do with what the Most High thinks about you. So, but it means having the fidelity in the knowledge of who the creator is. That's what faith actually really means. It really means having the knowledge. It means to know, not to believe. It actually means to know. And then to take you a little bit farther, when you sit there and tell me, well, when you know the truth shall make you free. Right? If you know the truth shall make you free. You look that word truth up, the word truth is actually the Greek word eletheo, Alethia, elethea, elethea. You look it up, it actually means truth. T truth. It means truth. So when you know the truth shall make you free.
Yeah, it's the act of uncovering something that was previously hidden or forgotten.
When you when you
Alethea.
when you know the truth shall make you when you know facts. Truth actually means facts. So what it is telling you is when you know facts is gonna make you free. Ain't no whimsical bullshit. No, it's facts. That shit. No, make it manifest. No, don't talk to me about nothing you can't make manifest. I don't want to hear that.
Where are you finding this from? The teacher will appear. Is that from the Strong? I'm trying to find it. You said what's it called?
You
The
see strong.
Strong
Don't you see
etymology.
Strong's 4102? Strong's 4102 is telling you that. And then it comes from another word, 3982. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. See, when you're trying to deal with somebody that do research, this is what we do. We'll
What
lead you
I'm
straight down the rabbit hole and bring you straight to information, man, that'll help you.
where's what's Strong's 4102? What is that, a website or
No, Queen. That's how you use the lexicon. That's how you
the
look up certain
lexicon?
tongues, certain terms, Queen. Listen,
So I gotta Google the lexicon.
listen. Yeah, that's what you would have to do. But listen, Queen, we ain't got time to be. We ain't got no time to do all that.
I'm
Hold on.
trying to study
What you
etymology
say,
on
Kizzy? Hold on.
YouTube.
What Kizzy say?
I'm trying to
No,
get
no,
into
no. We You got to take a class to get this information.
lexicon
Y'all
Bible.
running around here, man, with disinformation, man, and misinformation, and
Hold
then
on
going
now,
to
I'm
say
self-taught.
somebody's phone. Hold
I'm
on,
self-taught.
hold on, yeah, hold on. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Hold on.
What, the lexicon Bible? All right, so where's the
Look,
course
look,
that I gotta take? Like
look.
what do you mean? What
Hold on,
class?
hold on, hold on. Kinsey says magic definitely. Magic is using energy with intention to create a result. It's active. You're directing something, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions on purpose. Faith, definition, faith is trusting in something unseen without needing proof. It's receptive. You believe even before you see it. See the result. Your background is too high, Queen.
Ajna.
All right. All right. Kizzy. See, here you keep coming with this little, well, not research stuff. That's not what that is. You go back again. Do it again. Go a little deeper. Go a little deeper because you coming with something. Yeah. The different magic, you move the energy. Faith, you trust the energy. Magic says, I'm going to do something to shift this. Faith says, I know it's already working, even if I don't see it. How in the hell can you see something? Kizzy,
Man, I like
that's
you,
that
Kizzy.
religious jargon.
I like you,
That's that
Kizzy.
religious jargon, man, if I ever heard it.
Ugh, you talking
You
about
you
language,
making me
girl.
pour a
Mm,
glass of wine, man. You making me
I
pour a
like
glass of wine.
you.
All the Empress is in the house. Hey, Empress. Greetings, Queen.
Come to my house anytime. I cook for you, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Kizzy. Coming with
Yeah.
the heat.
With some heat.
Flames.
What the hell? Hell.
Kizzy got that sauce. You need to bring Kizzy out here.
Like
Kizzy,
them
tell
young,
about yourself.
like them young Thundercats say, what the hell?
Pop your collar, Kizzy.
All you gotta do is look at the definition. That Kizzy, read the definition master teacher put out there.
I'm still trying to
cancels
find his
out
sources.
what you're saying. And I keep trying to tell you about energy. What you're saying about energy is not correct. That's not what energy does. Energy, energy, listen. Energy is authentic. Energy does not lie. Energy does not use delusions and illusions. That's not energy, right? Real, true energy brings forth the manifestation of how things really appear. And that's when we get into truth. If you're going to get into truth, truth is how things really appear, which brings you to facts. Facts are those things that are created between energy and matter. Energy and matter produces what?
Manifestations.
Energy in a sense, yeah. But energy and matter produces mass. Mass
Mass?
produces, yeah, mass. MASS. Mass.
Okay.
Look it up.
Matter.
Look it up.
Mass.
Energy and matter is interrelated and they produce mass. Somebody help them.
Okay. So it produce energy can produce mass and vice versa. I like air pa. I don't see it, but I know that I take a breath. I'm going to take in air, right? I don't have to create it. There's there's for all to breathe in.
I disagree with you, kids. We can see air. See, I keep telling y'all messing with the wrong one.
See,
Cause I am the one. Hold on, you can see air.
I can see the bioenergetic field. I can see the ether.
Hold on,
Uh,
stop.
I can remote view. Um, so I have
Listen,
different eyes than most people. I can see the dust particles when I open up the screens and the sunlight comes into the room. You can feel energy. Your body feels it before your mind can comprehend it, cause it has mass. Inside of your
li-
mind, you have mass.
li- listen, listen. Well, y'all getting us way off there, man. But let me say, you can see air. Let me give you an example of how you can see air. See, this is why you got to be very careful about what you can and what you can't. You can see air. I guarantee you. Take a plastic bag and swoop it through the air and squeeze it and see what happens to that bag. That bag inflates, doesn't it? You see air. Not only that, but wait till it get cold enough. When it get cold enough, you live up there in Buffalo, New York. When it get cold enough, go out there and breathe and see what happens. When you go out there and breathe, you see air because it turns to what? Frost. You see air,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't say that you can't see it. That's the same thing with faith. You can't say that you can't see it. It is already done. It's a done deal. You just need to know it. You're just waiting on the manifestation of it. There's a Greek word called elpo. El peace comes from another Greek word called el peace. It is elpo, which is where we get our English word from, alpo, dog food. But elpo means to be in expectation, waiting for a manifestation of something. So when you look at all of these terms and these words, you will get into a different aspect of what's going on. See, sometime, yeah, we're limited until we get to somebody that's in a specific genre, that's in a specific ram that are charged to be there, that's been chosen to be there, that is their appointed time to be there. They're going to carry a different spark. They're going to carry a different level of information. And they're not trying to negate anybody else's information. What they're trying to do is align it without disruption. See, here's when you know someone has arrived at a certain place and space and time, they won't be disruptive because they understand the balance of the male and the female. I'll give you a real example, and I'm gonna get out of here. These are my last words, and I'm gonna get out of here. Give you an example. If you look over there on your wall, it's a socket on your wall, isn't it? Right? You got a socket on that wall. Just you can or not. You got a socket on that wall. Uh-huh. That socket represents a female. Am I right? If I'm right, any of you all that has a any of you all that have a socket on the wall in your house, any one of you all have a any of you all that have a yeah, any of you all that have a socket on your wall, put a one on the timeline, and I'm gonna get ready to explain something to you. Yeah, you partly right, Pastor Singletary, but I'm gonna take it a little deeper.
You know, I thought that comment was very interesting right there. The not that one. Energy is equal to mass time the speed of light. Energy is equal to mass times the speed of light.
Hmm.
Well, that one was interesting because I always do sound and or what is it? Light and sound equals time. Light, sound equals time. So, or it creates our paradigm. So
Just so you know, you talking to a master teacher. He know exactly what he's talking about.
he know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Energy is equal to mass time speed of light. So sound and light equals energy and mass.
Look it up and see. You got Google.
Sound and light equals
I got to get out of here. Give me just a second, y'all, fam. Um, because I won't be able to. Well, okay. Oh, let me finish this up. That wall socket that you have, and I'm gonna get out of here. The wall socket that you have, check this out. It's female, right? So the only way that you can get that energy out of there is that you have to plug something into it, right? Got to plug something into it, which is a male. So if you plug into the wall socket, it creates what? Energy. You can't get energy without both male and female. It will not happen. That wall socket can be there all day long. That female can be sitting over there all day, every day. But until that male show up and plug into her, or she show up and plug into him, ain't nothing happening. And here's the crazy part about it: when you the a plug is doing two things at one time. A plug is pushing and pulling. One is pushing the current, and the other one is pulling the current. And then not only that, but then they say, okay, well, we need to add another piece to it. So now you have a third prong on the plug. We call it the ground. It grounds everything. But guess what? It has nothing to do with the interaction between the female and the male. The only time that it comes into operation is when there is a disruption, when there is something that's trying to disrupt the power in the current to keep it from flowing the way that it's supposed to flow. See, and this is the problem that we have, that we are not grounded. you there's shit that's trying to disorientate and mess up and discombobulate, right?
friction,
But
distractions.
but that one ground piece
Mm.
grounds you. It's about grounding. So it's about that male and that female being grounded. So we'll get back to something else, y'all. I got to get out of here because I can't be able to do what I need to do with these clips. Uh, But if you had an opportunity to donate and I haven't seen it, please put it on the timeline so I can catch it later and shout out. Gratitude, Pastor Singletary, for your donation. Shout out to the Prince of Peace for your donation. Shout out to you, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shape Shifter, the Code Breaker, for your donation. But listen, Queen, let them know where they can contact you. You got your mic silence, but let them know where they can contact you, where they can find you. And this definitely is not your last time on here. And we love you. Everybody put love on the timeline so Queen can know that we don't do nothing but love up in here, and we have great conversation, grown folk conversation. That's what it's about. Grown folk conversation.
I
Yes,
love
indeed.
this conversation. You can find me on all platforms at Notary Natasha. My name is Natasha Clark. Again, I'm in Metro Atlanta. So if you're ever in the area, you want to link up, I work pretty much all day, every day. And I'm just grateful to be here, have this great conversation. I learned a lot of new things today that I'm going to go dive deeper into the etymology of some of these words. But before we get off this thing, can you share with us that the strong? I'm still trying to find that the
Yeah,
strong.
I'll get with you on that on the back end because I got to get out of here. Okay.
All right.
All
Well,
right. I'll get
thank
with you on the
you.
back end. I'll make sure you have all of that information. Queen. We got all of that. Don't we got you.
Yeah, I'm just getting into it and diving deeper into my craft. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have like a massage table, a facial thing. I have a facility in Marietta that I am just starting to work out of, and I am bringing my healing modalities to the corporate space, and I just want to thrive with people who are like-minded and on that same elevation. And like you said, two or more gather, that meeting of the minds. If I don't know something about magic and you are bringing that to my attention and you're uncovering that truth for me, I'm forever grateful, because I didn't know that prestigious word, where we
Listen, I got you. We got to get
prestigious.
out of here, Queen. If you stay in, we'll go backstage. Just stay here.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, fam. Y'all know how we do it. Listen, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it. Ponder on it. Meditate upon it. But by all means, do what?
Prestigious.
Govern yourselves accordingly. One love, eternal light, peace, power, prosperity, and the words of Prince of Peace, excellent health, fam.